Our special extended coverage of Hurricane Irma continues now at 7:30. The storm pummeling more islands in the Caribbean on its way to South Florida. Haiti, just one of the many places dealing with heavy rain and strong winds.
And tonight we want to take a few minutes in our coverage to have a conversation about the main concerns that are leading up to, during, and then after a storm like this.
We want to make sure you have all the information you need, of course, and that's why we have Chief Meteorologist Setzer standing by, joining us as well. And it's not just about weathering the storm, it's also about what happens after the storm.
Right. So a lot of times when we have a hurricane impact here in South Florida, we think about just, oh, you got to get through the storm, get your shutters up. Once the storm's gone, maybe like in the Wilma situation, tarps. This is a much more serious event than that. The possibility of loss of roofs is possible on roofs of older homes. That is another reason why we want to have the house envelope protected. And that's where we put the shutters up to keep the glass from breaking, to keep the wind from getting inside of the house. Most of the newer homes have roof straps, so even if some wind gets in, the roof will stay on. But the older homes that don't have that and weren't retrofitted or upgraded, there's the potential for the wind taking off the roof.
Craig, I got a question from a viewer about roof turbines. What is that?
Yeah. So those little wind things, they're silver, they're about this big. They sit up on the top of the roof and they spin when the wind blows, and they help ventilate the attic and get some of the heat out. Unfortunately, when a hurricane is blowing, they spin super fast and they create different pressures in the attic. And then if they blow off, they allow rain to come in. So they make these covers, and tomorrow is a perfect day to get a ladder, get up on the roof, and put your wind turbine cover on your wind turbine.
Cover up your turbine. All right, we have some questions from some viewers. This is Danielle Wynn Clapper, who asked on Facebook, how long can we expect the worst of the storm? Will it be longer than some storms that we've experienced in the past?
Well, unfortunately, it is a much bigger storm than Andrew. The saving grace to South Florida at the time, and not to Homestead, of course, Country Walk, was the fact that it was a compact hurricane, so it marched through South Dade. But this is a much bigger storm, several times, 3 times bigger. And I just saw a message that the hurricane hunters are finding that the hurricane force winds are expanding outward, something we don't want to see for 2 reasons. One, it's going to up the surge potential, but also it means that we will be longer duration in the storm. It's possible we could be in hurricane force winds for 12 hours from before sunrise to after sunset. But of course, the worst part of the hurricane is the core, and that wouldn't last that long, fortunately. That may last 2 hours, maybe 3. But that's the part that does all of the damage, and that's the part that we really have to be most prepared for.
Wow. Another viewer was asking about the European model. Does it concern you about so much discrepancy in the European model?
Well, the European model has been doing very well. We keep statistics on how the model's doing in each storm. I got a question earlier today, was that, why don't we just pick the spaghetti that's best? Every spaghetti has its day. You know, it's just like some days a storm will do well with one model, other days a storm does well with another model. The European model is unique in that they use a lot more computing power, unfortunately, than the U.S. model, and they do a lot of calculations to get the atmosphere right before they forecast. And so it is doing better with this storm, and right now, unfortunately, that means that the storm is coming here if you buy that.
We've talked a little bit about this, about people who have been thinking about, on the fence, whether I should try to go. At what point is that question or that debate over? If you're still here at this point, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, if you're still here Friday at sunset, you're not going anywhere. Everybody should be close to where they're going to be going sunset on Friday. You do not want to be on the road at all, caught in a traffic jam with a major hurricane coming up.
And a lot of people also have been asking about the turns. When is that spaghetti going to turn? Is it going to turn? Where is it going to go? Obviously, we know you can't predict that completely, but we did see that with Matthew last year when it made the kind of that last-minute turn away from us. We all had that big sigh of relief. Right.
Unfortunately, this one, all of the turns kind of cover some part of South Florida, and because it's a big storm, we'd still feel the impact. The turn also, probably more unfortunately, is it's not going to happen until probably Saturday afternoon or Saturday night. So the storm's just about here, and then it turns almost like it's taking aim at us, and that's going to be pretty terrifying.
That was the scenario we didn't want. We were hoping for that turn sooner.
Right, we're hoping for the turn sooner
or
later.
Then it would have missed us on the other side.
Right.
Wow, it really is just a lot to wrap our heads around, and we've been talking so much about trying to sort of take care of everything that you need to do logistically, but also sort of take care of yourself emotionally, because this gets very, very stressful. A lot of people here in our newsroom a little bit stressed out about what's going to happen, and so how do we deal with that?
And to include your children in this too, and kind of keep some family cohesion. I mean, and for me, I've been looking at models, looking at numbers, and we've been talking about this since last Thursday. I just noticed that the reality of what's unfolding is starting to sink in. And so I'm like, ooh, ooh. And so I kind of almost had to just pause for a second, because when you're insulated like this, getting ready, doing all these busy things, now the fact that, in fact, it is coming here is starting to settle in and sink in. And so the people who still have hope that this is going to suddenly dodge us, that's not going to happen. We're going to feel some impact. How bad the impact is still questionable, because we don't know exactly where that core is going to go.
Well, especially for you, you've been living, eating, breathing this storm already for days now, and keeping everyone informed and really giving the community all the information
Hopefully,
they need to
you know what? And as we started the last Friday and Saturday and over the weekend, I was thinking and putting out there, no surprises. Nobody should be surprised if there's a hurricane threat here, and nobody afterwards should say, I didn't expect it.
And you talk about children. I have grown children, and they're starting to act like children right now. This is affecting everybody, like you say. Thanks, Craig.